Sounds good. Um, Hello everybody. I'm here with Raven Geeks. Shout out to Raven Geeks. Make sure you go check them out if you want to say hi, Raven.
Hello.
And today we are going to be going over our 2026-2027 Premier League predictions. Now, we did a off-screen prediction about what was it, 2 months ago? I know it was before the World Cup, like right when the season ended or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But a lot has changed since then. My list has changed. I don't even really remember what it was. Raven said that his list has changed a lot. So yeah, we're each gonna have our own list. So don't think we're gonna try to like compromise and meet in the middle. We're just going to explain why we have our teams where we have them, and we're gonna start obviously at 20th, go all the way up to the top of our champions, and yeah, I think we're ready to start with the relegation sides at number 20.
Yeah. It's definitely been interesting on this preseason regarding who's actually like kind of shite.
Mm-hmm. It has.
But I don't think much has changed aside from like maybe one vital club.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get to them. I think in our 20th spot, I like agree or disagree with me. I still believe it's going to be Hull.
Yeah, I still have Hull City at 20th. I have some notes written down on my phone that are like right next to me of why I have the teams where they are. But Hull City is pretty easy. They were lucky to get into the Prem in the first place. I think they should have lost in the championship playoff, but granted they didn't. I think they have no squad depth. I think they have no quality, at least Premier League quality. And I don't even know if they've made any signings this offseason. I can't remember any, if they made any at all.
I think it becomes a struggle because we're not very tuned in with them since they are championship side, so they
Mm-hmm.
literally come up from the earlier division. We're
Yeah.
not entertained on them. We're not educated on what they're doing because
Mm-hmm.
they're the new blokes. They're the new blokes in town, even though they've been up in the Premier League a few times.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't think they're staying up. It's going to be that unfortunate case
Yeah.
where promoted team gets relegated instantly. And I felt like we're going to be seeing that as soon as we hit the halfway point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I struggle for to see Hull City like halfway through 19 games in. Do they even get like past 20 points in 19 games? I don't
Uh,
see it.
yeah, debatable. To be fair, I think they could probably scrape 20 points,
Maybe.
and, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens after that. 19th, again, for me, nothing changed. I have Ipswich at 19th. Basically for the same reasons as Hull City. I don't Now they were in the Premier League 2 years ago in the 2024 2024-2025 season. But I think they got last. My only thing is obviously I don't think they have the quality or the squad depth. The question is, did they learn from 2024
Yeah,
2025? Did they
yeah. So
learn?
here's the thing. Like, I'm not sure if they still have the same manager.
I
That would
don't
be
think
a
they
vital
do.
thing.
I don't think they do.
Okay, so not the same manager. They likely don't have the exact same team as well. So
Yeah.
it's unlikely that they could probably stay afloat. Like their structure is very unbalanced going into this. Like
Hmm.
great job. I believe that they're going to do better than Hull, and it'll be surprising if Hull end up doing better than them
Yeah.
because Ipswich have the experience side as of recent
Hmm.
over them. But no, I don't see Ipswich coming out of this.
Yeah. I don't either. I don't think. Yeah. At least from what I remember, I also don't think they made any like big signings once they made it into the league. Like, don't think they signed any players that are like Premier League proven and have been in the league for a couple seasons, or like even taken some long shots, like trying to sign players from different leagues that could potentially break out in the Prem. I don't think they have anything like that right now
Yeah,
that they have made.
yeah. I just don't acknowledge those teams because I feel like anyone that's a top 10 contender or Tottenham, I stay fairly educated on in regards to their signings.
Hmm.
Ipswich, I've of course literally heard nothing, so therefore, like it's hard to say if they have anything of significance, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But let's go on to our last relegation team, and I
Hmm.
believe according to these recent pre-season results,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to put Newcastle.
Newcastle.
I'm gonna be honest.
Interesting.
Have you not seen the friendly today? Leverkusen beat them 2-1.
I have not. I did not see it. No, I did not see that preseason game today.
Leverkusen got a 1 minute goal.
Wow.
First minute, got a goal. Newcastle equalised at the 44th minute. Then they
Mm-hmm.
scored another goal at the and then Leverkusen scored another goal at the 82nd.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, I see it. I did not watch that. I haven't really been paying attention to Newcastle's like preseason. I'm more worried about their squad because they've lost so many players.
Yeah,
But we'll
they've
yeah.
lost so many players. Yes, they have a new coach. Apparently, their old coach was their weakness, according to Newcastle fans. But
Mm-hmm.
they're just all out of whack at the moment. There's no
Yeah,
structure
yeah,
to their
there's
team.
yeah, it's an absolute mess over there. It is a mess. But I did not think you'd have them relegated. I don't think I had them originally relegated, and I still don't have them as a relegation side. I think they'll
It's they
I
ended up being they ended up being weaker, and I mean, I
hmm
originally ranked them at 14th like 2 months ago,
hmm
but nothing I've heard from them has been good. And the fact that I'm hearing from them so much, and
yeah,
the fact that it's all been negative news, like they're getting rejected after rejected player, and
yeah,
even like manager positions, and basically just to work with the administrative team, they're just
yeah,
getting rejected left, right, and center. And I don't think they have the prowess to come back from it. They're struggling on that front.
yeah. Not my Newcastle. Newcastle, you were just glazing Aston Villa not too long ago. But
Yeah,
were you gonna say anything else about Newcastle, or no?
yeah, I'm just I can hear an echo.
Oh, you can hear an echo. Uh oh. Uh oh. What's
Careful
going
with
on?
your microphone.
Yeah, I'm just using my what is it? My regular computer microphone. I hope there's not
Yeah,
an
yeah,
echo.
yeah. But okay, here's the thing. I don't believe like Newcastle are guaranteed to get relegation.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a shout into the wind. This is going to be the upset in my eyes.
Okay.
Like Tottenham would have been the upset last season. It didn't happen. Newcastle is going to be the upset this season, and I feel like it's gonna happen.
Ooh,
It,
I don't mind that shout, to be honest. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
we are due a relegation upset in my eyes. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I can definitely predict Newcastle go down, West Ham come back up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So for me, my other relegation team is actually a team that is going through very similar things that Newcastle's going through, but Newcastle, I still think, has enough quality to stay alive. I have Fulham going down.
Fulham, yeah, I don't blame that choice. Fulham have not looked
Fulham,
solid.
I think, because, okay, one, they've lost a ton. Harry Wilson's gone. He went to Leeds. Raul Jimenez is gone. I can't remember where he went. Chukwueze's back at AC Milan, and he had a great game today against Man United. He had a goal and 2 assists against Man United in preseason game. They've literally lost all their attack. I don't
Yeah,
think Fulham, to me, might be a bottom three team in goals scored this season. Even if they don't go down, they'll still be one of the worst attacking teams. Their front office is in an absolute mess, in my opinion. It's complete and total chaos. I think even if they do figure it out, the first half of the season is going to be miserable for Fulham fans, I think.
yeah. I mean that's sort of what leads me to actually believe that midway through the season we're going to see Fulham sort of surge enough to
Okay.
scrape some point to avoid relegation. So they're my 17th
They're your
team.
17th. Okay.
I think they're going to scrape by. I think Newcastle are still going to struggle in the second half
hmm
as well as the third, because considering how many people have rejected them so far,
Yeah.
what's the likelihood that they're going to be better off mid-season than Fulham?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Fulham. So it is going to be, oh my gosh, if I can speak, it is going to be rough for them. I understand Newcastle as well. I think it could very well be a two-horse race between Fulham and Newcastle for that final relegation
Yeah.
spot, which is interesting because we both agree that Coventry's staying up because I have Coventry in 17th.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I think that out of all of the newly promoted sides, Coventry has the most Premier League ready attack. So, like,
Yeah.
when we're looking at how Frank Lampard likes to play and the players up top for Coventry, they can go goal for goal with some of the lower table Premier League sides currently. Like, I think they can go goal for goal with a Leeds. They could go goal for goal with a Fulham. They can go goal for goal with even an Everton, which I have a little bit higher on the table. They're not necessarily like a lower Premier League side, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I am worried. Is Frank Lampard a Premier League level coach to where he can keep a newly promoted side up? I'm not 100% sure. Um, but they do have Prem experience. I believe they do have a couple players that have played in the Premier League before, I want to
Mm.
say.
Yeah.
I can't remember who on their squad has played in the Prem before, but I have a feeling they have had a couple of those players that have been up there. But I am high, not high on them, but like I do believe they have by far the best chance of the newly promoted sides to stay up.
Yeah. I do believe they're going to stay up, but I don't think they're going to be that low. In fact, I think
Mm.
Coventry have done well for themselves. They just yesterday beat Monaco 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking
Okay.
pretty solid for them.
Yeah.
I believe in them more than you, for example, putting them in 17th.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it then came down to what I believe was a toss up between these two teams. And I feel like my decision has been made between them. I'm going to put Nottingham Forest in 16th.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm a lot higher on Forest than you are. Okay, interesting.
This is still an improvement from my tier list 2 months ago, where I put them in
Yeah.
the relegation spot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so Nottingham, you make it out. I just think like the team that I put above them has been much more impressive
Okay.
as of recently.
Mm-hmm.
Coventry has been more impressive compared to Forest as of recently. I
Okay.
believe Coventry actually have a lot more attacking potential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's 100% fair. I definitely agree with that.
What's your 16th place?
My 16th, and this may be a little bit crazy. I think Sunderland struggle a lot with Europe. I really do. Because they're in the Europa
Okay.
League this season. I think they struggle trying to balance the Europe schedule. B,
Yeah.
at least from what I remember, because I was paying attention to them a little bit, I don't think they've made any signing like needle moving signings for a club of their size. And where's the squad depth? Like you have good players. You have Broby, Granit Xhaka, you have oh, what's his name, the center back? Ballard, I think his name is. I think those like they have solid starting lineup. That's how they got to Europe in the first place, right? I just don't know where the squad like once you start putting in subs and then you're playing Europa on your Thursday nights and then you only have like 2 days of rest before going back to the Premier League. Are your players going to run out of gas before are your players going to run out of gas, which I think they will, they're starters, and B, do the players on the bench or the reserves, are they able to step up? And I don't think so. I think they're good enough to stay up. Like I think even with Europe they're better than Fulham. I think even with Europe they're better than Coventry, and obviously they're better than Ipswich and Hull, but I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with some of the other teams around the lower table that don't have to worry about Europe, despite them having a better squad, at least like better starting 11, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I get that. I get the mentality of that.
Mm-hmm.
As of recently, no big signings for them, so it's kind of intimidating.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We move on. We move on to 15th now,
Yes, 15th.
and and I feel like this is where things are going to fall into place a little bit more. So what I was considering, right, above Nottingham Forest,
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't seen anything of Nottingham Forest, so it's hard for me to judge
Mm-hmm.
whether or not they, you know, have anything above the teams that I put above them.
Yeah.
And going off the last year's stats, they got 16th.
Mm-hmm.
They were barely ahead of Spurs, and Tottenham are in a way better position now. I don't think
Yeah.
Nottingham have made any significant improvements to their squad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to believe that from the last year's performance, that Leeds are going to place 15th.
Okay, Leeds. All right, all right. That's fair. I get that. I get that.
Leeds haven't made any major signings, as far as I'm aware, but they still have pretty much the same squad that they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything has fundamentally changed, but they're not going to be hanging around all too much. And I think Sunderland are going to be a lot more put together than people think on the surface.
That's okay. Yeah, I can understand that. I do
Um,
definitely get that.
I mean, let's think about it. Sunderland got seventh
Yeah,
last
seventh
year.
is yeah.
There is a significance to that, and they're likely in prep of making sure that their players don't gas out. And
Yeah,
if anything, they just prioritize the Premier League, making sure that
yeah.
they
They
stay up.
just like flop out of Europa. Don't even because like
Yeah,
there's really no point for them to like yeah they're going like just qualifying for Europa and then even like because I do believe that the Europa there are some teams in there where Sunderland can win a couple of those games and qualify in that top 24 and that's more money for them and that's it like they can lose in the first round of the like playoffs in Europa but just making it out of that 36 team group stage is going to get them more money anyways and
yeah.
that's big for a team like them.
My strategy for Sunderland would be get the bare minimum going. Get the
Yeah,
bare minimum, get your money, and make sure that you stay up. Focus on the Premier League to where you stay up. And your
yeah.
best chance at getting a top five position for next season would have to be getting ninth or below.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
So because you don't, they can play both at the same time. I don't think, but I
no,
don't think
no.
they're going to suffer too much replacement because of it.
That's fair. Yeah, I can completely understand that. For my 15th, this might be another shock. I have Crystal Palace, and the only reason,
Yeah,
again, I think Palace struggle in Europe as well because this is not the same team that won the FA Cup. Eze's gone. Trying to think who else is gone. I believe they do still have Mateta. I think Mateta's still there. They lost Gahey. Gahey's gone. Um,
yeah, rough.
I believe Olise is obviously gone as well. So like
Yep.
what they were able to accomplish in the Conference League was very very good. Like winning the Conference League, obviously. Um, I can't remember where they finished last season. Where was it? While playing in the Conference League, I think they finished. Let me see. I'm gonna check really quick. Yeah, so last year in the Conference League, they finished 15th in the league while playing Conference League.
Yeah.
I do think they can improve with. I haven't seen any big signings that they've made. They did. I think they did buy Lacroix, right? Did they buy him this
Yep.
season? Yeah, they did buy Lacroix. So like they have made some signings, but now they're in an even harder European competition. So I don't think they've bought enough players to compete on both fronts, just like Sunderland.
You stay 15th.
Yeah, they finished 15th last season. I think they'll finish 15th again this season.
In Europa Conference League last season, saying that they finished 10th.
Oh no, I meant in the Premier League last season while playing Conference League.
Oh, okay,
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. They finished 15th in the Prem while playing Conference League last season. And so while
yeah,
yes, the squad is I believe has gotten a little bit better from the previous season, they've replaced some of those players. Um, I
I
just
think it's a net negative.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure. They sold him, not bought him. Oh no, yeah, they did. Yeah, Lacroix went to Chelsea. That's right.
Yeah,
before
I
you
mean,
go to Chelsea.
following that, I also am of the same opinion, but Crystal Palace, in my eyes, will be the 14th place team.
14th, okay.
I believe well, all the same reasons as you, but I believe Leeds will do worse.
Okay, so for me, my 14th, this is where I was just a little bit higher on this team. I had Newcastle at 14th. Basically,
okay.
the exact same. The only difference between Newcastle and all the teams I have below them, Newcastle does not have to worry about Europe.
Yeah.
Sunderland has to, Crystal Palace has to, and yes, Newcastle's been ransacked. They lost Bruno, they lost Tonali, they lost Gordon, they lost Eddie Howe, their manager, even though, of course, Newcastle fans say that Eddie Howe was the problem.
They will keep saying that until they end up having another problem.
Yeah. It's just that's too many key players they lost. Too many.
Yeah, too many.
But I just think the fact that they don't have to worry about Europe will save them. But
right.
Who do you have at 13th? Because this is the team I was a little bit higher on, if you don't mind me going first. For 13th. I have Leeds at 13th.
Okay.
Again, they don't have to worry about Europe. I think right now they're in a better position than Newcastle, as of they're a better run organization than Newcastle is. They're not in any sort of like chaos. I think they've made some good business decisions. I think adding Harry Wilson is huge to their lineup. He's going to add a lot of Premier League, like just quality in the attacking half for that team. And I love Daniel Farke. I think Daniel Farke is a great manager, in my opinion. The fact that Leeds has him makes me believe that he can improve their position in the table and then potentially like kind of not really overachieve, because I don't think Leeds getting 13th isn't an overachievement, but I think he's good enough to manage them past some of these other teams that are struggling or will be struggling, even if the squad isn't as good as theirs.
Fair enough.
That's why I have him 13th.
For my next pick, this is going to be the shocker. I have fucking Coventry City.
Coventry 12. Wow.
In 13th.
Oh, 13th. Yeah, sorry, not 12th, 13th.
Yeah, because I but and I misspoke on Ipswich. I'm throwing. Don't clip that, chat.
That's being clipped.
No, I have Coventry in 13th. I feel pretty confident in them this time around. I feel like coming off the back of their promotion, they're actually going to do much bigger things than people expect.
I wouldn't mind that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's think on this, right? Coventry are the most prepped of the recent promoted teams by far, and they don't have to have the worry of other competitions. They're just focused on the Premier League, which is good for them. So they're already in a huge, way more solid spot in comparison to Ipswich, in comparison to Hull, who have weaker teams, but then also in a way better spot than Newcastle and Fulham, who have been ransacked.
Yeah,
Coventry have kept their solid squad going into this. They look strong just overall. I'm expecting a lot of midfield changes. Maybe they're going to be changing up formations a bit to where they're favoring a lot more attack heavy, because that's where they best suit. They best suit on the push side whenever teams kind of fall flat and try and go for a handball. They're really good at capitalizing on that. And what placement did they come in the championship?
First. They won the championship last year.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I wanted to get my facts straight. Yeah, they came first. So, like, overall, gotta believe that they have it in them to get 13th and stay up. Not sure if that will be the case for the season following, but hey, the season they're just going to be continuously carrying the momentum.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not as high on them as you are, but I do still have them staying up.
And then in 12th I have Sunderland.
Okay. 12th is Sunderland.
I once again, I don't think they're going to drop as far as you think.
Yeah, I
As
had them
much
dropping a lot, but
as much as they're going to be fighting the hard fight, I think they're just going to make a priority. They're just going to be like, get the money. Mid season, they will have the time to scrape back points,
mm-hmm.
and then just kind of go from there. They'll be like the end season rising team,
Mm-hmm.
where they
Yeah.
will get out of the 14th to 17th and make themselves possibly 13th or 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So in my eyes, I think
Yeah,
they'd
so
be better than Coventry, and they're also just a better team than Coventry.
yeah, they are. They are. So they were kind of like, yeah, you're saying end season risers. That was kind of like, I believe last year Forest was. They didn't rise a bunch of spots, but I think they won like 6 out of their final 8 games, and that saved them from
Yeah,
relegation. So like they had a really good like final charge at the end of the season. At least I think that was
yeah,
Nottingham Forest. I can't remember if it was Forest. It was one of the bottom teams that just would not lose. I think it was Forest. They had a really good end of
yeah.
season.
You
But
can fact check us on that chat.
yeah, please fact check me. For 12th, I have your Merseyside rivals Everton. I'm just
Yeah,
I'm just I don't really know what to say about them. They just got to prove themselves to me. That's really it.
they're always
Uh,
such a mid team.
yeah, they're extremely average. I don't think they've made any moves that have convinced me that they're going to be any better than they were last season. I think they finished 12th last season. It may have been 13th, somewhere around there. I just think they'll
I gotta stop hearing the Everton fans saying that Everton's better than Liverpool because you're just
like
plain delusional. It's not ever been proven to be the case for like decades.
yeah. So it's they just got to prove me wrong. I still just think they're average, and so them being
Yeah,
average is enough to get them mid table.
yeah, and well, they go in my mid table because I'm putting them in 11th. A little bit more belief than you,
Okay, yeah,
but
a little bit more.
still, I just don't think they've made anything of significance.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to end up getting a lot of draws. Is my prediction. Hence
Yeah.
why they're going to be 11th. They're going to play the hard ball, making sure that every other team that faces against them struggles to get a goal, and they're going to get like one cheeky goal in and then concede.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll probably be just the epitome of average almost. For my 11th, I was a lot higher on this team than you were. I have Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
Now they lost their best player, Elliot Anderson. Oh, you could argue Morgan Gibbs White is better. Um, but I think they've made some good signings. They signed, what was his name? Usman Diamande, I think, is a good winger. Uh, they signed on a free from Leipzig, like Xavier Schlager, I think is something. I think that's his name. And then they also signed a guy from Fulham, like Steven Brenda, on a free. I think those are all solid. I think they addressed problems that Nottingham Forest had last season. I think Nottingham is fairly well run. What's their manager's name? Oh gosh, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
mm-hmm.
Someone tell me Nottingham Forest manager. I think it starts with an M. Marinakis, that's his name, Marinakis. I think Marinakis, as much as I hate him because they screwed us over from Morgan Gibbs, he screwed us over from Morgan Gibbs White. He clearly has the pool. I think the pool to keep players and sign players. I think he runs the team well, especially if they were the team that went on that run last season at the very end. Um, I just think they're going to shock some people. I really do.
Going to shock the world.
You shock the world by finishing 4 spots or 5 spots higher than they did last season. I just
Fair
think they're
enough.
it's a solid team. In all honesty, at least to me, I think they're a little bit underrated, just a little bit, and they've made constant progress throughout the season. Like when did they come up? Forest got promoted. Oh gosh, I can't remember when. What season was that? I can't remember what season it was, but ever since they've been promoted, it's just in constant progress. Maybe a couple dips, but just slowly moving up.
They've been in the 23-24 season, so probably like just before then.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, ever since they've been promoted, it's just been solid, albeit very minor, but solid progress as a promoted team. They've established
Uh,
themselves, in my opinion, now.
okay, we have all the same teams in the bottom three tiers,
Yeah.
just in different order.
Hmm.
And now, not sure if it's going to change, but for my 10th place team, and this will probably be quite exciting for you, I put Brighton.
Ah, Brighton. Okay, okay.
Off the back that they do have to compete in the UECL,
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
so they're going to be kind of like in the Sunderland situation.
Yeah.
However, I think they're more prepared than Sunderland.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Um,
agree with that. I agree.
they only positioned one placement behind Sunderland last season,
Hmm.
and what was it? What did they place the year before? I'm pretty sure
Shoot. I
the year
can't.
before that they also placed eighth. So they've been getting consistent eighths.
Yeah, if they are the team that's just good enough for Europe, but not contenders.
Yeah, I think they are the definition of what I would believe is a mid-table team.
Hmm.
They'll get some extra money this season
Yeah.
because UECL, but I
Hmm.
think because of that, the priorities are going to shift slightly away.
Hmm.
Not and you know just being better than Everton and Sunderland. I think they have the more well-balanced team
Yeah.
and suitable substitutions when their main players come off field.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
my tenth
I was gonna,
spot, it does
I was
change
gonna
a
say
little.
like
What would you say?
I was gonna say their squad position wise. I'm trying to look through their squad right now. So what we
Hmm.
have here, um, yeah, we got. I would struggle to pronounce any of these names. Um,
Yeah, you're good.
but but all of their squad, like on average age wise, their oldest player is Pascal,
Hmm.
35, but
Yeah.
everyone else is like on the forward side as well, in their like mid 20s
Yeah.
or their 20 to 19. Those are some young players that I can rely that will play the entire season and not run out of gas as easily as Sunderland's team.
Yeah. Yeah, and they just got like I think their defense is also like good enough um to kind of like hold down on both sides for both Premier League and um for the Conference League because like they took away Vuskovic from us from Tottenham and I'm really high. I think Vuskovic is going to be like extremely good. I think he could have a very good breakout season. Um,
Yeah,
they have like Boskalagi or something like that. Their center back pairing is fairly good. They have De Kuiper, who's out as a midfielder. They have Hinselwood, I think is still very good. Um, I do have lots of proven talent, and I do think that Brighton can cruise through the Conference League with the squad depth that they have. I don't. I think they can save their big players for the Premier League and kind of just play some of those subs or reserves or maybe even some of their academy players in those Conference League games. I think it does depend on what teams they draw, but because maybe they get extremely unlucky and draw some of the better teams even from like pots 2, 3, and 4.
mm,
But yeah, I am a little bit more. I'm a little higher. I think Brighton will do a little bit better than 10th because I have at number 10. I have Brentford at 10.
Brentford,
Yes, I have Brentford
interesting.
at 10. Again, I think just like Leeds, they're very well run. I like their manager. I just think they have a better. Their squad's just a little bit better. In all honesty, I think with what they have and what they lost, like they lost Thomas Frank, they lost Embuemo, they lost who's at Newcastle now? Who was that? Wissa. Um, and they lost a couple other players as well. They've done very well with very little. I'm extremely impressed by what they've done with what little they have. Because like if you look at their team just on paper, you can argue on paper Everton's better. You can argue on paper Nottingham Forest is better. You can argue on paper Leeds is better. And despite that, they arguably outperform every single one of those teams. Just
Yeah,
with they're extremely well run club, and I think that will help them stay at mid-table, and maybe they do push for ninth, maybe they do push for eighth. I don't know, but I am confident that they can stay exactly in the middle of the table, maybe a little higher.
Okay. Well, you're going to have a bias because I know what's coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
But in my ninth position, I have Tottenham,
Okay.
which, in all fairness, is higher than when I ranked them 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I placed them 13th 2 months ago with
Mm-hmm.
recent signings, with recent deals, and Peppa Pig. They have climbed up to ninth,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to see what they do. They could definitely have the potential to reach the sixth to eighth slots,
Mm-hmm.
but I've not seen anything like super substantial preseason. I feel
Yeah.
like that's for all of us to kind of view at when we're actually in the Premier League. And also, they're coming off the back of a lot of pressure, getting
Yes.
almost relegated last season, and I feel like that's going to get to them just enough to where they don't make eighth.
Okay. I do have a question. If Gakpo and Savinho get over the line, does that change anything for you?
It definitely could. I think we're looking at eighth or seventh.
Okay, because I do believe Savinho is cleared for a medical on Monday, and apparently Gakpo, Liverpool have found a replacement for Gakpo. So there's a very good chance that we get both of them. But again, I don't know. I'm more confident in Savinho just because he has a medical scheduled for Monday, but Gakpo's still not 100% sure on that one.
Fair enough.
But ninth for me, and this might be a little bit of surprise, I have Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth struggle in Europe, in Europa. I really think they do. I haven't seen any. Oh, geez, what was that? Word to mommies. All right, Cookie. I think they struggle in Europe. I think this is a season where they have to. Well, okay, at least for me, I don't think they have to prove anything to me. I don't doubt them at all. I don't doubt their quality. I don't doubt the players that they have on the field and what they can do and what they can achieve. Maybe some people are still doubtful against them, but I just think they're consistently average. I don't see them as the team that's like, oh, they could definitely make a jump to eighth, maybe seventh, or even potentially sixth, and that's just because of Europe. If they weren't in Europe, I think I would have put them higher.
Yeah,
For
fair
me.
enough.
But I do think that the Europa League will challenge them.
I just think that teams at that position
Mm.
have more clarity of like preparing themselves.
Yeah.
Once you get to the eighth to sixth spot, it's super hard to knock you down so significantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think AFC Bournemouth have more validity to stay up.
Yeah.
And actually still fight the good fight, getting them a top eight. But let's hear your eighth placement.
Yeah. Eighth place. So you were talking about how this team had finished in the same spot 2 years in a row. I'm making it a triple, a hat trick. I have Brighton to eighth.
Okay.
I think I am not worried about them in Conference League. I'm really not. I think in Conference League, I can't remember all the teams that are there. They're arguably the best team in the Conference League.
If I was to agree with you, I would have to move Brighton above Tottenham.
I mean, that's if you don't want to move Brighton above Tottenham, that's fine. I also, as you can tell, don't have Brighton above Tottenham.
Yeah, but in this case,
mm-hmm, in this case, but
Tottenham wouldn't get ninth.
Tottenham wouldn't get ninth. But yeah, I have no worries whatsoever. I've already explained like the players that they have, and I believe that the depth of their squad can compete on Conference League without sacrificing the um the possible exhaustion of their starters. Brighton easily over Tottenham. All right, whatever. But they're very consistent. I have a lot of faith in them to just keep being that one team that's going to make the top six struggle. Because it seems that whenever Brighton plays Arsenal or City or Liverpool or Chelsea, they always give them a run for their money, and they're never gonna back down. They're always gonna be a tough team to play against if you're one of the
Yeah,
top teams in the Prem. So I have Brighton at eighth.
just a consistency. I mean, I don't blame the choice, but I feel like there's more validity with these teams. I'm going to start by saying not a lot has changed in sort of my top 8,
Mm-hmm.
but the positions might slightly change. So
Okay.
this time in 8th is Brentford,
Okay.
and I just think they're not going to drop significantly. They're just going to realize the exhaustion that they would have to face competing in the UEL. It's gonna be slightly more difficult for them to adapt on the fly, but I genuinely believe their squad is still very solid.
Yeah.
And not to mention you're dealing with other teams in which would have to come up from relegation battles. It's basically 3 points for them. They're really just bullies of like recent come up teams
They are, yeah.
and all teams that have been ransacked. So they're getting easy points off of Fulham, Newcastle, Ipswich, Hull. I can even see them getting a lot of, like easy points off of Crystal Palace.
Yeah. That is fair. That is fair.
They just bully. They just bully trust.
Yeah,
And that's where they're going to get their points. That's what's going to drag them up a lot.
Mhm.
They're not going to take easy games lightly. They're going for the jugular.
Yeah, that makes sense. They'll beat up on all the teams below them and then get beat up by the teams above them. Maybe they steal a couple points from maybe like an Aston Villa or a United or a Chelsea, but and maybe a Tottenham
I
as
mean,
well.
I think it's going to be like Bournemouth, Chelsea, Aston Villa. Those are the teams that you can expect Brentford to either draw or beat. As maybe slight upsets, but realistically, they're just going to play bully to all of the teams below them. They're going to struggle against Brighton. I believe they're going to also struggle against Sunderland if they're going to prioritise the Premier League.
Yeah.
But other than that,
that is fair.
Seems like easy pickings.
Brighton, my beloved. What's good, Onyx? I saw that Onyx was in here. Number 7.
Okay.
On to number 7 now. Here is my Tottenham Hotspur at 7.
Okay.
The reason why, and now there is a little bit of bias here because I'm a Tottenham fan. Everybody knows I get made fun of it all the time for it. If you look on paper, our team is better than every team below us, just on paper. At least in my opinion, I think. And the fact that we don't have to worry about Europe, I think, is huge for us. We have Tonali. We have Fernandez. We signed Van Heck. We signed Senesi. Robertson's been pretty decent in the preseason games. He got an assist today against Hoffenheim. I do think Savinho gets over the line, which helps our left wing problems. I think we do get Cody Gakpo, who can play as a left winger and a striker, so that solves some problems there. I do love De Zerbi as a coach. I think De Zerbi's great, especially when he was at Brighton, right? Not too long ago, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And he's helped Brighton get in those top positions with a worse squad. So call it bias, call it what you want. I think Tottenham has a perfect storm to make it to the Conference League or low Europa League again. Depending on, obviously, what happens with European competitions if certain Prem teams win their Europe competitions and the spots move down.
Here's the argument coming into play.
Yeah.
Because of recent friendly, there is a likelihood that Tottenham can beat this team, that Brentford could beat this team. I think this is a very exchangeable 9th to 7th.
Yeah.
I think any team can overtake one another with enough advantages. Chelsea is my 7th.
Ooh.
But Chelsea lost to Tottenham 2-1.
Yes, I saw that.
And Tottenham also got a red card. So
yeah, that was something. Chelsea at 7 is interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think one position up is fine, but this is what I mean. Tottenham, Brentford, and Chelsea, I think it's just going to be a battle between them 3, and they're going to be quite separated from 6.
Okay.
They're going to battle for UEL, UCL. Like they're going to battle for that sort of competition. I think
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham is better off not qualifying, so they have a better chance next season to once again build up their squad.
Okay.
Um, I
Honestly,
feel like I do them a service putting them in ninth.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, I kind of want us to qualify for Europe. I want us, like, if anything,
You want to see more matches.
yeah, I want to see more matches. I also want to win trophies. I think if Tottenham get Conference League, listen, if we win a conference, okay, let's say hypothetically we get Conference League this season and we go into Conference League next season and win, and Arsenal still doesn't have a European trophy, yes, I am flexing a Conference League in front of Arsenal. I have no
I mean,
shame in doing
you
that.
already have the trophy to flex on them. You just want another one.
Yeah, we won another one last season or 2 seasons ago now, Europa League, which I did flex Europa League on them, and I will flex a Conference League on Arsenal because a Conference League is more than 0 European trophies. So
Yeah.
I will be doing that.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's valid. I just think Chelsea, Brentford, Tottenham. I want you guys to fight it out, scrap out like nothing else, because
That's fair.
I don't think Brentford's getting easy pickings against Tottenham, and I don't think Chelsea's getting easy pickings against Brentford or Tottenham. It's
Yeah.
just as simple as they are going to scrap with one another for that seventh or eighth spot,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's more beneficial for Tottenham to be set up next season to be placed in ninth,
Yeah.
to where I believe that they actually, if they make the right calls, can get top five
Okay.
next season, which is a wild shout. But
Yeah.
I
Tottenham
actually do have
fifth
faith in them.
is.
They've made
Yeah.
some great moves as of recently. Chelsea just seem like like another consistency. It's either
Mm-hmm.
Brentford or Chelsea that qualified eighth, the top eight. So I just believe consistency will be in their favour. Tottenham are adjusting to a bunch of new signings.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
feel like halfway through Tottenham, once they face against Chelsea and Brentford again, they're going to get the win above them.
Yeah. There will be an adjustment period, especially because if all the signings do land, Savinho is going to be thrown into the fire. Gakpo will be thrown into the fire. I've heard Balogun might show up. I don't know if that's going to happen. Probably not. I don't think we'll get Balogun. I don't think we necessarily need him. I mean, I don't know if we really need him. I wouldn't mind having him just because, United States representative, but yeah, it will be tough to have some of those newer signings try to mold. I think there's a chance we could get off to a slow start this season. I think because our first game is
slow
Brentford,
start,
right?
But I don't think it's bad at all. You're gonna be mid. You're gonna be mid-table.
Yeah, because I think we play Brentford opening day, right? I think that's our first game we play is Brentford.
In all fairness, if you beat Brentford that first day, I will move you up to top 8.
Hey, I don't. Are we home that game? I don't think we are.
I don't think no.
I think we're away at Brentford, but we'll see. We'll see if we can beat the bees.
If you end up beating Brentford, I will move you up to 8. I will have that belief.
Hey, all right. I'll take that.
So you got to prove it to me. You got to prove it to me.
That's fair. My sixth place spot, I have Aston Villa. I think
it dropped slightly low.
Yeah, Champions League is going to be tough for them. They also lost Tielemans this season, but I'm a firm believer in Unai Emery. I think Unai Emery is the second best manager in the Premier League behind Mikel Arteta. I said this 2 months ago when we were doing our Premier League predictions the first time, and I think I had Aston Villa finishing 7th. I have them a little bit higher now, but
I had Aston Villa finishing 3rd when I did this last.
3rd is interesting. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, but I'm in the agreement. I don't think they're not 7th, but they're 6th. I think.
Yeah, I have them 6th.
Yeah. Sorry, but
we are in agreement.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think.
I believe they're going to struggle. They're going to drop down slightly, and yeah, that's going to be a little bit devastating for Aston Villa fans. You got to realize. It's not looking as strong for them because the top teams have gotten a lot more momentum, a lot more great signings. Arsenal have stayed consistent, if not are going into this season
even
with a
better.
lot less pressure, so therefore they're going to be a better squad.
Yeah, I think they've just gotten better
Liverpool
too.
have been having some insane signings, even though their friendlies are ass.
Yeah, I'm not worried about their friendlies. We beat Arsenal in a friendly last year, and look at what happened. I'm not worried about Arsenal friendlies.
Arsenal are known to throw though, so
Yeah,
that's
those
nothing
fucking
new.
exactly. But yeah, agree on number 6. I guess we'll start with the UCL. My first UCL spot in 5th place, I have United. United in 5th. Yes.
Low. Yeah.
I know. I do. Oh shoot! Did I accidentally log out of that? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I have United 5th mainly because now I had them originally 4th, but I made a last second decision when they got absolute belt to ass from AC Milan today. Ruben Amorim Ruben Amorim coached Jamie Carragher off the pitch today. And this was with United starters. They didn't have all of them. I don't think Embuemo was playing. I think he wasn't there. Who else wasn't there today? There were a couple other players that weren't there. But the fact that here was their team. Cunha was starting. He's a starter. Fernandez was starting. Santos and Tielemans were starting. Shaw, Maguire, Mazraoui, and Lamans. The only ones that weren't starters were like Amad Diallo. So like no, and Embuemo didn't start. Who else didn't start for them? Lissandro Martinez didn't start. And Rashford didn't start. So they're missing like 3 starters. But to get belted by an Amorim-led AC Milan a week before the season starts, I don't know. And they have Champions League.
They definitely do got to put themselves together.
They do. I still believe in Carrick, but I don't know.
I don't know. They ended up very solid last season, and has much changed? Not really.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to. This is the biggest significant change between you and me. AFC Bournemouth is my 5th.
Wow. AFC Bournemouth.
Now, here's the thing. They are just the best team in the UEL.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true, yeah.
Done. That's done for them. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they have to try that hard. So I feel like they could definitely focus a lot more on the Premier League.
That is very true. I mean, I just think they might struggle with some of the Europa League teams. So I'm trying to see who is in Europa.
Is it significant enough to gas them out? I don't think so.
Maybe not in the early stages, but like if they do want to try to win, probably yeah. I think it could gas them out near the end of the season.
Let's say, for example, they make it to like a winning spot. Maybe they get like what is it, semi-finals.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have to see like what teams have qualified for the. I can't remember who all qualified because I know Crystal Palace is there, but Bournemouth's better than Palace in my opinion. I mean, AC Sunderland's there, but again, I think Bournemouth is better than Sunderland. You have AC Milan and Juventus. Juventus might give them fits, but like, are they really going to play them early on? Maybe Marseille could give them struggles. But yeah, Bournemouth is probably definitely the best team.
Yeah, I don't doubt they'll have troubles. But I don't think their troubles are going to be significant enough to drop them out of that top 5 contendership in which they've started fighting for last season. They came up slightly short, but like let's look at the points. Bournemouth was 3 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool are a stronger team now. With recent signings, and of course, like getting rid of a lot of the aging players.
Yeah.
Salah, as much as I do love you, bro, is old as shit.
Now over at Trabzonspor, which
he is also he's injury prone now.
Yeah. So they might qualify for Europa. Trabzonspor, they might. We might still see Salah in Europe.
Fair enough, but yeah, I just think like Bournemouth, they're going to carry themselves just barely. possibly above the 60 point minimum,
Hmm. Yeah.
which is usually what it takes to qualify for top five nowadays.
Yeah.
Um,
I can understand that. I
yeah,
guess we can go to
I,
fourth.
I have more faith in them, but let's hear what you're for.
Yeah. So for me, fourth place is Chelsea, and the reason why I have Chelsea at fourth is because A, no Europe, and B, I am a believer in Xabi Alonso. I think Xabi Alonso is a great manager. And C, their squad depth is insane. I saw a video 2 days ago where a Chelsea fan was able to make a starting 11 with 33 different players. They made 3 starting 11s based off the color of the player's skin. And all the teams were different. Not a single repeat. They had a team of all black players, African American players, a team of all white players, and a team of all mixed players. 33 different players that they could cycle through with no Europe. I mean, they
Stamina for days.
yeah, you have stamina. You can compete on all. They can compete on all three fronts in England, and they would not get tired. And with United and like all the teams I have below them, like Villa and United and Brighton and Bournemouth, all those teams have less squad depth and have to worry about Europe. So I think Chelsea are going to be fit every single Premier League game. They're going to be a hard team to beat because they're always going to be fit. That's my reasoning as to why I have them fourth.
Okay, gone with the Blues. They have no original alias name.
Yeah, Les Blues.
Okay. Well, I felt like this would be fairly simple now because we'd be down to the same top three as I have Man United.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, this should be pretty easy now. But
and we'll go from here. Because I feel like we don't have to explain our reasonings for this. It seems kind of obvious.
yeah.
Third, Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
I could admit I don't think we're a better team than Manchester City going into this season.
Mm-hmm. Funnily enough, I think your team is
great signings.
Yeah, this is I think it's funny because your team is better than they were last year, and I still consider this a building season for Liverpool with quotation marks. Because like I do think you have a new manager because Slot's gone. Who is the new manager now? Oh my gosh, what's his name?
Me when I forget as well.
Yeah, you're supposed to know this.
It was Andone.
Yeah. I think he's a good manager. I think he's solid. Arne Slot's left him with a great lineup or a great roster, and now they've added. And I do think there will be a mixing period. I could see Liverpool maybe struggle for the first like 5 or so weeks, but then like once he gets it down, they're just gonna be steamrolling a bunch of teams. Like there's
that's essentially what I built up to because they have a complete stamina issue, and considering that they have to compete in the UCL, that's a scary thing. But
it is.
They're going to actually have their main lineup on the team when it comes to these games because people don't realize we're playing with our B team on the friendlies, and people are like doubting Liverpool's squad depth. We're bringing in a lot of players to compensate for the players that we missed out on, and especially Tottenham took.
Yeah, we're taking
Gakpo from I don't think they do too poorly. They're, in my opinion, very consistent. They're going to struggle against teams that don't compete in any European leagues.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, for example, that's going to be quite the struggle to face against them.
Yeah.
But I believe in them. This is also personal bias, kind of. But
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so.
Team. It's just a great team.
Yeah, it's a good team, but I think it's a 2-horse race.
It's a 2-horse race because I believe, fueled by anger, fueled by motivation, we're going to have Manchester City taking on Arsenal. And I'm going to be honest here. Okay, I'm putting Arsenal second.
Oh!
I think the pressure's going to get to them again. They have no pressure at the start of the season. They're going to start steamrolling. but then it's going to take it down a notch. They're going to start playing safe. They're going to start playing cautious. That's when Manchester City strike.
Because
and I'm
yeah,
Manchester City, in all fairness, want their win back. And they will cement themselves as a Mount Rushmore level team. Because I was arguing with someone in the comment section of a video saying the Mount Rushmore teams was like Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United. Who would be the fourth team there? I said Chelsea in terms of historic length.
Yeah.
They have much more history about them. But if Manchester City wins this league against one of the most stacked Arsenal teams, and not to mention in the best sort of mental position possible, they cement themselves by overtaking Chelsea.
Okay, interesting. I could see that.
And also, we are seeing the FA Community Shield go down tomorrow.
That is
I
true.
think Manchester City win that.
I could see City winning that. Yeah, I could see that.
That will set the momentum for next season. Arsenal are going to not find answers against Manchester City.
Okay, interesting. Because for me, and as I put my bias aside for this, I had City second. I could see Arsenal struggling, especially later in the season, because now that they have won the Prem, at least their fan base is going to want them to focus on the Champions League. They're going to be like, we were so close last year. We went to a penalty shootout with PSG, and we were extremely unlucky. We've already won the Prem. We don't need to prove ourselves anymore. Let's gun for the UCL. At least that's what their fans are going to want, right? Will the board...
There's going to be a lot of psychological depth here because...
Yeah.
If Manchester City end up beating Arsenal in the UCL race, Arsenal win the Premier League.
Okay.
I feel like that's going to be the front.
Okay.
But if Arsenal get further than Manchester City in the UCL, I could see Manchester coming out on top of the Premier League because they're going to be dealing with the backlash. They're going to be dealing with the mocking. That's their pressure point, and losing in that is going to harshly strike at their sort of motivation, their energy, because they put so much time and effort into trying to get over the line. And once they get past Manchester City, they're going to feel the pressure a lot more in that, and then they have to focus most of their attention in winning that over the Premier League because they already did it. They already did it last season, so they feel less pressure in the Premier League. But that's when they could get arrogant. That's when they could have more tired players. That's when I believe Manchester City scope out the win for the Premier League.
Yeah, I could see it. I think it's a 2-horse race. I think it's going to be closer than it was last season. I think Arsenal won by what, like 7 points? Was it 7?
Yeah.
Something like that?
And it was because Manchester City didn't get the wins that they needed in order to make that a closer race.
Yeah, they, what was it? I think City tied Everton. And when I saw that City tied Everton, I was like, yeah, that's the league's wraps. Like, Everton was a must-win game, and they didn't win it. And I think
Manchester City didn't win all their final 4 games. Like they did decent, but they just couldn't get themselves over the finish line to actually make the title charge like that much more competitive. Yeah. Arsenal had been so good early season and just dipped off because they were getting so close, and that's what they usually do. But it's slightly changed now. It's changed enough to where Arsenal can win back-to-back. But I don't want it. So much so that I believe that social media is going to be on a frenzy regarding no one wants to see them win. Literally everyone's against them. And that became apparent near Arsenal's end of season last season. So I think it's going to get to them. It's going to get to them enough.
It could. It very well could.
Like Premier League or UCL. I think it's going to get to them.
But I think that's it for the Prem predictions. We have
So what we have here, I'll go through my list.
Okay.
I have Hull 20th, Ipswich 19th, Newcastle 18th, Fulham 17th, Tottenham, Forest,
Tottenham
in 16th. Yeah, I've moved Tottenham down.
No.
Leeds 15th, Crystal Palace 14th, Coventry City 13th, Sunderland 12th, Everton 11th, Brighton 10th, Tottenham 9th, unless they beat Brentford
Then
in
they
their
can
first
move to
match,
8th.
and I'll move them up to 8th. Brentford is in 8th currently, though. Chelsea 7th, Aston Villa 6th, Bournemouth 5th. They will barely scrape that, I believe. Manchester United 4th, Liverpool 3rd, Arsenal 2nd. As much as it can go just either way. It is a very equally matched team, and I believe Pep, in my eyes, held back Haaland a bit more than people are willing to admit. Haaland can play the everyman slot very well. He can push further back on defense. He has the physicality for it. He's young. He's got legs as the Let's Go Champ guy at Logan Paul's boxing team say. He's got legs and he's white. But yeah, I've Arsenal 2nd, and for the love of God, I hope City win because I can't listen to Arsenal fans anymore.
No, I can't, dude. It's so bad. Obviously, you guys can see on my stream, Hull City 20th, Ipswich 19th, Fulham 18th, Coventry 17th, Sunderland 16th, Crystal Palace 15th, Newcastle 14th, Leeds 13th, Everton 12th, Nottingham Forest 11th, Brentford 10th, Bournemouth 9th, Brighton 8th, Tottenham 7th, Aston Villa 6th, United 5th, Chelsea 4th, Liverpool 3rd, City 2nd, and Arsenal win, but I really don't want them to. But yeah, that's about it. Raven, thank you for sharing your ball knowledge with me. You're more knowledgeable since you live in England, but I do know the offside rule, so I believe I was qualified enough to speak with you on this topic.
Let's be honest, guys. If you don't know what the offside rule is, which I doubt any if you don't know what it is, if you're watching a Premier League stream, if you don't know the offside rule, you cannot judge us.
Exactly. If you guys do, if you're watching this video and you made it to the end, feel free to join the Discord server. Oh my goodness, Newcastle are gonna go crazy. If you did make it to the end of this video, make sure to join the Discord server because I am going to be making a Premier League fantasy league. Premier League fantasy. Raven, you can join that obviously, and then anyone in the server can join. We're gonna see who can be the best fantasy league team manager. I don't know if I'll do any prizes. I think the prize will be bragging rights, I guess. It'll probably just be bragging rights, or whoever wins gets to be mod. Yeah, I think we'll end it there. Thank you to everyone for watching. Make sure to go check out RavinGeeks, even though he is at least on the YouTube space, he is far more popular than I am. Still check him out, and I will see you guys later.